The newest episode of Survivor 48 might be the actual most boring and worst episode of Survivor I have ever seen in my entire life. And before you nerds go, oh, well, what about Survivor Island of the Idols? I didn't watch that season. But anyways, let's go over this prolonged agony, shall we? The episode starts off with everyone being like, well, congratulations everybody on Final 7. And Mary goes, actually, I'm the only one who had my name written down along with stars, so I deserve all of the congratulations. Mary, are you trying to go out next? And if so, you are doing an absolutely fantastic job. And then Mary says she's going to miss Star very deeply, and that every time she gets close with another player, they get voted out of the game. Well, just use that to your advantage, Mary. Just form a close bond with Joe, and then poof, he's gone in an instant. And then Mary says, despite being absolutely and utterly cooked in this game, she's not gonna give up without a fight. And then Mary goes and gives a pitch as to why she should stay in the game to Camilla. And I'm not gonna lie, Mary's proposal makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. What Mary should have said is, hey, wanna get out Joe or Eva next? But this is what she freaking said. She goes, hey Camilla, if you wanna take out Joe or Eva in the future, maybe keep me around for that vote. Because if one of them wins immunity or they have an idol, you can just vote me out instead and not one of yourselves. Mary! If they freaking keep you around, they have to vote out someone else anyways, you absolute boat. And you can tell by Camilla de Killa's face, she also thinks this plan is absolute dog sauce. And then Camilla de Killa says she really likes Mary's plan because she wants to get rid of Joe or Eva because they're a duo. And then Mitch says he just wants Joe to go because he's too good. Mitch, you freaking had your chance last tribal council to weaken him, and you said, actually no, I want to vote for Star. And then Mary also tells Mitch her buffoonery pitch, and then Mitch says, we all see the writing on the wall for Joe's win. Well, yeah, Mitch, you guys are the ones that gave him and Eva the crayons. And then Mitch does his signature hand on forehead pose. And then we head to Kyle and Joe just talking like bros, straight chilling. And then for the 80th time in a row, Joe tells me about his stupid core 4. Yeah, I know, Joe. You, Eva, Kyle, and Shihan are in a core 4. How many times do I need to hear that information? And then Kyle, seemingly the only person in this season that actually knows how to play the game of Survive. Kyle's like, can I beat Joe at Final Tribal Council? I don't know. And we're already at Final 7. It's a crucial point in the game, so we're gonna have to make some crucial decisions. And then Mary also tells her stupid scheme to Kyle. And Kyle's like, listen, Mary, I don't freaking know, okay, buddy? So because of that, Mary proceeds to mutilate literally every single coconut on this island. And then Mary proceeds to say her pitch was amazing. Mary, your pitch was so bad it would give someone a free base. And Camilla and Mitch's reactions to this are absolutely priceless. And then Eva's like, hey Mary, did you by chance crack open like 50 coconuts today? And Eva's like, well, you should have freaking saved it, Mary, because it was our last one, buddy. And Mary's like, well, you go in every food reward. I don't. Yeah, okay, Mary, that's true, but like, what does that have to do with you just breaking open every coconut because you're angry? And then Eva's like, Mary's just being spiteful and eating all of our coconuts and stabbing me in the arm because like, what the frick happened to your... And then Eva tells everyone what Mary said, and Joe hits him with a surprised Pikachu face. And then Kyle says that Mary has probably eaten the most food. I wouldn't go that far, Kyle. What? And then Camilla de Killa says Mary does not know proper coconut etiquette. Let's be honest, Camilla, you were just trying to get the freaking episode title with that one, weren't you? And you got it. And then Kyle Crocodile asks Camilla de Killa, yo, if I actually flipped on Joe, would Mary even go with us? And she's just like, Kyle, she has literally no other choice. She's cooked otherwise. And then Camilla tells us about how her and Kyle are working together secretly. Oh, brother, how many confessionals do we need about that? And then Kyle is now very sad because he just realized that whatever he does, he's going to make someone very sad. Was Star not sad to be voted out? But and then we have this goofy fishing montage with Shaheen, Kyle, and Mitch, which like I don't know why this is in the show. Like this fishing scene feels like the most deleted scene of Survivor I've ever watched. But anyways, a boat pulls up and then Eva mispronounces the word hammock so incredibly horribly.
Literally sprint out of the hammock.
And it says one person will get on the boat and take a journey. If you can't decide who, you will draw rocks the person that gets the Purple Rock will go. And then Mary says she would love to go on the journey. She doesn't even care about losing her vote. She just wants to get some sort of advantage in this game. So then, of course, Eva draws the Purple Rock and gets to go on the journey. I swear, bro, this Purple Rock was a paid actor. And this has got to be the absolute goofiest journey I've seen in my entire life. She has to stack these tiles 4 up in order to get her vote back. But if she's able to stack them 8 up, she's able to get a knowledge is power advantage. But the thing is, she's only able to move the tower with her foot. Who made this challenge, huh? It's crazy how they managed to send the only freaking person in the game with advantages to a journey where the advantage up for grabs is knowledge is power. Oh, by the way, there's a timer, so her blocks are allowed to fall, but when the timer's up, wherever it's at is what happens to her family. And she stacks it up 4 high, and she's like, you know what, I don't freaking need the knowledge is power, I'm done. And then she pushes down the tower, but there's still time in the hourglass. By rules of the challenge, she should lose her vote. And then she gets back to the cameras, it's like, hey, guess what, losers? There was a knowledge is power up for grabs. I bet all you idiots on the bottom would want that. And then Joe's just like, hey, yep, she was honest. She's really cool. And then Mary talks to Shahin about her dumb pitch, and he goes, yeah, I'm not freaking doing that, Mary. And then Shahin, with a straight face, somehow says he thinks he's playing a better game than Joe. That's the first entertaining thing that he said. And then he said, I have relationships with every single player on this beach. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Joe does too, but they're just better. And then we head into the immunity challenge. And this challenge, the only thing that actually matters is the puzzle. And Jeff says, the winner gets sushi. Jeff, I would rather eat someone's spleen, brother. And the winner is between Camilla and Joe. And Joe gets back to his mat first, but Joe's puzzle is actually incomplete. And the reason Joe's puzzle is incomplete is because he should have switched the eyeball cube the other way, because it should have been the same color as the rest of the puzzle. And that's gotta be the only time in Jeff's entire life he says something white should have been in black. W's in the comment for Camilla de Killa absolutely slaying that challenge. And Camilla de Killa has a very sad moment where she starts crying and saying her parents said she wouldn't be good at Survivor and wouldn't win any of the challenges. Well, look at her now, doofuses. And Camilla de Killa is able to pick 2 people to go on reward with her, and she picks Mitch and Eva for some reason. And then Mary has the most womp womp speech I've seen in my entire life. Like, I really wish Jeff would have said that to her. And then Camilla de Killa says she wants Joester to ghost her. And then Mitch says he hasn't eaten anything for days. Mitch, I'm not trying to be rude, bro, but you're such a non-player in this season. Every time you're on screen, I forget you're even in the season. And then Eva just tells them exactly what she's going to do with her idol. I have a serious question. What the freak is wrong with Shihan and his unhinged songs in this season? Like, first of all, it was his tribal council music, and then it was his chicken and waffle song, and now it's this curse of a song. What is happening? And then Shihan said to himself, he's like, what's the cringe song enough? Nah, I'm gonna do a full minute confessional that will make everyone go to sleep instantly. And then Kyle tells Camilla he's actually a lawyer, not a teacher. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know he was lying about that. And then Camilla says she doesn't trust Mary at all, but Joe is also a mega threat. And then Mary says she's gonna pull a little bit of Russell Hantz, a little bit of villain, and then just immediately goes and tells Joe she's voting for him. I don't think Russell Hantz would do that. Mary, that's not called being a villain, that's called being a complete moron. And then for some reason, for like one full sentence, Joe sounds like a villain mob boss.
Because Mary is gonna write down my name.
Like, that doesn't sound like Joe's voice, does it? Am I going insane? And then Joester is being mega paranoid because a single person is going to write down his name. And then Shaheen's like, bro, chill out, you absolute turd magnet. I've had my name written down twice, and I'm still as cool as a cucumber. And then we head to tribal council, and Jeff Probst makes everyone give a sob story. Despite all of that plotting against Joe, Mary still went out in a freaking unanimous vote. Are you actually kidding me right now? And then for some reason, freaking David stands up when Mary gets voted out. David, what are you doing? Sit back down, buddy. Well, guys, that's gonna be the end of this absolutely horrific display of Survivor strategy and gameplay. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smack that like button and subscribe. And comment down below what you thought of this episode and who are you rooting for it to win this season. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.
Bruce will be very sad, and feed us the steakers will be make it glad. And make sure to comment about how much Survivor sucks, and about how Liz loves Applebee's even though it's butt. And hit the notification bell, because if you don't, like you says, it will be a big mistake. And David the doofus will throw milk in your face, and then Stinky Sue will take a poo all over your shoes. Oh, oh, oh.
Hey everybody, this is Bruce here for Season 45 Survivor. Now, I, Bruce, the greatest Survivor player to ever exist, demand that all of you subscribe to Meme View, that's M-E-M-E, View, and hit the like button, or, if you don't, you end up like me on Season 44, alright? You don't want that, do you? Peace!